Hi everybody, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. So today we are going to talk about Elijah Vue. I have not discussed him yet because I am having such a hard time keeping up with all of these poor children. It's every time I turn on some kind of media, it's some child has been harmed, usually by the people who are supposed to love them the most. It frustrates me. I'm just so frustrated. You know, all children are precious, all of them. And it's hard to talk about these stories. It really is. But we need to keep these innocent children's names alive. We need to keep their names alive. We need to keep saying their names because it's all we can do. You know, what else can we do? The people, the monsters that hurt these kids deserve to be shamed, and these children deserve justice. And the thing about justice is it's something you can't ever get until you've lost something that can never be replaced. You know what I'm saying? And so justice is great, you know, but children shouldn't even need to get justice for something. They should be safe. They should be protected. And it's just disgusting to me. I'm sorry if I seem emotional, but, you know, I've been crying because I've been upset about Tina. And it's just... So anyway, today we're talking about Elijah Vue. And I don't care what anyone says. His piece of garbage mother and creep boyfriend, they deserve to be buried in the deepest hole with Stephen Stearns and Shanda Vander Ark. They all deserve to be in just the deepest hole with just pain and suffering. I don't want them to get the death penalty. I want them to have pain and suffering for as long as it can possibly go on. You know, so let me get into it. So an Amber Alert was issued on February 20th, 2024 in Two Rivers, Wisconsin for Elijah Vue, a 3-year-old boy last seen wearing gray pants and a long sleeve shirt and slip-on dinosaur shoes. A 911 call was placed by Jesse Vang, Elijah's mother's boyfriend. And it's important to note that Vang's home is 150 miles away from where Elijah lived with his mom. Yeah. And from what I understand, his birth father is in prison too. So he's surrounded by winners. This poor boy never had a chance anyway. And I hate to speak in the terms of he's not alive anymore, but it's been nearly a month and they haven't found him yet. Yeah, so she sent him to stay with Vang because he was the enforcer and was sent to Vang for disciplinary reasons. His stupid mother, Katrina Bauer, sent Elijah, a 3-year-old little boy, to this monster to learn how to be a man. But have you seen this Vang guy? Look at him. Look at him. I'll put his picture somewhere. This is a man. This thing knows how to be a man. He knows what it is to be a man. Give me a break. There's more to being a man than acting like... In fact, acting like you're all tough and bad. That's not being a man. He isn't a man. He's a nothing. But anyway... Elijah was last seen at around 8 a.m. on February 20th on the 3900th block of, forgive my pronouncing, Michicot Road in Two Rivers. Two Rivers Police Department said they received a phone call at 10:59 a.m. from Vang, this so-called adult caregiver. This loser, Vang, used timeouts, but not the way normal adult caregivers use it. Like, you know, I worked in preschool for several years, you know, way back when, very long time ago. And timeout was a minute forever how old they were. So if they were a 1-year-old, they'd get timeout for a minute. 2 years old, got timeout for 2 minutes. 3-year-old, 3 minutes, so on. So excuse me, I'm sorry. But when I worked in preschool, I sucked at giving timeouts because I was just like, I either would forget they were in timeout or just let them off the hook. I was terrible at it. Yeah. But my kids were good, though. Like the kids I had. Okay, but anyway, Elijah was forced to stand 4 hours and was in timeout 4 hours, for hours on out for the 8 days he was with Vang, because he was with Vang from the 12th to the 20th till he went missing. God knows how long he was going to be with him. And the thing was, Elijah was supposed to be earning the privilege to go back home. Like, being home should just be, you know, a right to life. The right to living is to be at home. But no, he had to earn the privilege of going home. So he would make him stand for hours and would also give him cold showers or threaten him. Like, you want the cold water? You know, threaten him. And so one day after Elijah's disappearance, actually I think it was a few hours after his disappearance that Vang was arrested. But the next day, one day after Elijah's disappearance, that I full-heartedly believe this Jesse Vang clown knows all about. And I think Mom knows about it too. But his poor excuse for a mother, Katrina, was arrested and charged with party to a crime, child neglect. Jesse Vang was arrested and charged with child neglect. Both were being held at the Manitowoc County Jail. And I wrote notes about their charges, but they have kind of changed a little bit since that information was obtained. So I crossed that out, and we're just going to get into more of that in a minute. So while being interviewed by investigators, the female thing that is Elijah's mother, you know, the egg donor, reportedly changed her story regarding her whereabouts at the time of Elijah's disappearance. And she changed that story twice, which earned her 2 obstruction charges. And it's interesting to note here, on March 7th, Bauer appeared in court to have her $15,000 bond revoked, but her own mother made a statement asking the judge to not allow her to go free, and Bauer's appeal was denied. Way to go, Mom. Grandma. Jesse Vang, I need to correct myself. So he was arrested, but he was arrested a few hours after Elijah disappeared. And he has a history of criminal offenses, including CA, and possibly trafficking. I haven't been able to confirm that, but I've seen in a couple places he was charged and convicted of trafficking. And I believe that was in 2016. But don't quote me on that. I will have to go look into that further. I haven't been able to find anything to really substantiate that other than just this, that, and there. You know what I mean? Because the internet is a great source of information, but sometimes there's too much information that really shouldn't be repeated. So anyway, don't quote me on the trafficking thing. But drug charges, all that he's been convicted of. So multiple law enforcement agencies are involved in the search for Elijah. Dive teams have searched rivers with no trace of Elijah as of yet. The search for Elijah continues, but still no sign of him. In addition to Manitowoc County, searches are also taking place in Outagamie County, Fond du Lac, Green Bay, and Wisconsin Dells. Now let's rewind a little bit. I apologize to be jumping around. Jesse Vang told Two Rivers police on the morning Elijah disappeared that he saw Elijah sleeping on the sofa. He woke him up. He gave him cereal for breakfast, but he did not change his diaper. He didn't change his diaper. 3-year-old is in a full diaper because he was asleep, so the diaper was full. Didn't change his diaper. He forced Elijah to stand for several hours as punishment, and he was correcting Elijah's bad behaviors. And he even threatened Elijah with cold showers. And he willingly, willy-nilly shared this information with the police as if it was no big deal. So he probably really thought this was acceptable. Part of the criminal complaint states the last known photo of Elijah was taken on February 15th. And in the photo, he is standing in the corner in what appears to be Vang's apartment in only a diaper that appears to be full and The court documents detailed a deleted photo taken from Bauer's cell phone on February 13th, showing Elijah with a blindfold on and visible bruising on his jaw, neck, and upper left arm. But that evidence was not presented in a recent hearing. But that first charge that mom caught for neglect was changed to chronic neglect. And a fourth charge, neglecting a child, was added to Bauer's charges because she left her 6-year-old daughter in a turned-off car in 27-degree temperatures for more than an hour on February 14th. A few hours before that, she and Vang were texting about planning to have sex, moving Elijah to the living room and leaving her daughter in the car. They texted this to each other. And there's a series of texts on February 18th between Bauer and Vang I want to read to you. So Vang texts, "I told you, trust me, I'ma make sure he hates me and being here." Real well-educated people. Bauer, "Don't want him to hate you, just fear you." Vang, "It's okay, someone had to be the bad person." Bauer, "I know, but either way, he can fear you and respect you." Vang, "He did fear me, but he didn't respect me. Now I'm making him respect me." And sorry about that. I heard the cat starting to scratch up the furniture, so I had to get her. But anyway, I think these texts paint a pretty good picture of what trash these two losers are. Okay, so I wanted to read this article from, it's the Herald Times reporter. Elijah Vue vigil in Two Rivers sends message of positivity and hope for the missing 3-year-old Wisconsin boy. In a message to Elijah, Two Rivers City Council President Adam Wachowski said, "We will find you." Two Rivers, stay positive and bring him home. Those were the overriding sentiments March 16th as family, friends, public officials, and community members gathered for a vigil for missing 3-year-old Elijah Vue at Walsh Field. People lit candles, spoke of the community's resolve in searching for Elijah, and blew bubbles on a windy evening. Among the speakers was spiritual coach Paula Petrie. "We are all feeling this tragic event that has been unfolding for the last month, and we are all feeling a lot of emotions," Petrie said, "and I get that. I feel it too." So what I would ask of you is, could you set an intention with me tonight? She continued. Could you intend in this moment to reach deep in your hearts and latch on to the emotions of love and support and of hope? Because no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the truth is, and no matter where he is, he needs us. He needs our strength, and he needs our love. Where we begin is we need to, first of all, unify, Petrie said. Unify as one to stand together for him, and the most effective way to do that is through our hearts. Two Rivers City Council President Adam Wachowski also spoke of the community's efforts in searching for Elijah, which have been ongoing daily since the boy was reported missing February 20th. "There is power in numbers," Wachowski said. "We live in a great community that cares so deeply about one another. When someone is in need of help, you don't just get someone to help. Instead, you get the whole community. That's Two Rivers. That's who we are, and that's what we represent, and that's our love for one another." Wachowski said police are doing everything possible to bring Elijah home to his family and community. He also spoke directly to Elijah, stating, "We hope you can feel all the love pouring out for you right now. May it comfort you as we search for you daily. We will find you." As for anyone who may have information about Elijah or his whereabouts, Wachowski stated, "Law enforcement will find you, and you will be held responsible from the criminal justice system from what this little boy has endured. Anyone who finds something they suspect may be related to the disappearance or location of Elijah should contact the tip line at 844-267-6648 or submit information using the Manitowoc County Crime Stoppers. The total reward for information leading to the discovery of Elijah for the arrest and charging of anyone responsible for Elijah's disappearance has grown to $40,000 after the FBI offered $15,000. Manitowoc County Crime Stoppers offered $10,000, and the City of Two Rivers offered an additional $15,000. People can donate to the City of Two Rivers Reward Fund at the police department or online. So, So I don't want to sound like a meanie, okay? I just think vigils and stuff, they're great. I get why they do them, but it just seems like such a waste of resources to me. Every time something happens, there's always a vigil, and I don't want to be Miss Negative, but the outcome is always grim. You know, they got who did this, and unfortunately, they don't have enough evidence to prove that they did something to this child. I mean, they have evidence to prove that they did something, but not unalived him. And I just think this is terrible. There's no answers. They have the two people that you damn well know that they know what happened to that child, but they're not going to talk. They're not going to turn on each other. They're in love or whatever. So anyway, it's scummy. It's a terrible situation. And again, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a negative Nelly, but I just don't see the point of vigils and vigils and things like that. It just, to me, is just, if it makes you feel good, do it. But it's just, I'm boots on the ground. I'm like, for example, when Marshall was diagnosed with cancer, I just try to pull things from my life to relate to something I'm trying to say, and sometimes it falls flat, so we'll just see what happens. But when Marshall was diagnosed with cancer, all these people wanted to do these prayer groups for him and stuff, and I'm like, because we were waiting for them to decide, oh, are we going to do this, or are we going to do this? And I was just do something. Just get rid of this cancer. You know, I didn't want to sit there and pray, and they wanted to send all these people to the hospital to hold hands with me and shit. No, I want this taken care of, and you're not medical people. You can't do anything about the cancer, so do what you do, but let me be here and do what I can do, and I can't waste my time and my energy holding your hands when I've got to do this with my son. So if that makes me sound like I'm a negative person, then it makes me sound like a negative person. I'm a person that wants shit done. I think shit should get done. And that's it. But anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to everyone later. Bye.